Right on time, finishing first into the studios, Rusty Wallace.
With the flag.
With the flag. How are you, sir?
Hey, it feels good being in here talking to you guys. Thanks for having me on your show this morning.
Thanks for coming in. This is pretty exciting for us. We've talked to you a couple times over the phone about this race or that race, and it's actually great to finally meet you in person.
Well, thanks a lot. I've been in town for a couple days talking about the track. We've got the very first race kicking off on May 21st and 22nd. And, you know, the reason I'm here is that, man, it's been cold around here, a lot of snow and stuff like that. Probably racing's the last thing on people's minds, you know.
No,
but
we're ready for it.
I want to make it the first on their mind when I leave.
Iowa Speedway, before you know it, it'll be racing time, and it'll feel so good to get out there and smell that fuel zooming by you and hearing those engines roar. When's the first race this season?
It's going to be on Saturday and Sunday, May 21st and May 22nd. And I don't know if you remember, but we've got awarded a NASCAR nationwide race a couple years ago by NASCAR, which was really hard to get. And we put a heck of a show on, packed the place over close to 60,000 people that day, and it was just an amazing race. And because of that, they said, man, you guys did a good job. How about you, would you like to have a second one? And we about flipped out. We couldn't believe it. You said, you kidding me? Is this a joke? I said, no. So we got the second date. And now that second date ends up being our very first race this year.
Very cool. Rusty Wallace joining us in the studio. IowaSpeedway.com is the website. May 21st, the first race. B-SoX.
So, Rusty, where are you from?
I'm from St. Louis, Missouri, but I moved from there back in 1984 to go to North Carolina, where that's kind of the hub of racing.
Right.
And I found out real quick, if I didn't move to North Carolina, there was no way in hell I was going to be successful, so I had to get down there.
So why choose Iowa to put a track? I mean, that's kind of an interesting trek all the way from there to here.
That's a great question, and I won a lot of races, 55 of them when I finally hung it up at the end of '05 for driving the car. And I had a group from Iowa call me up and say, hey, we want to design this racetrack. We want you to design it. I said, where are you from? And he said, Newton, Iowa. And I said, where's that at? And he said, that is east of Des Moines. I said, okay. So I came down and looked at
You weren't sure, but then it said east of Des Moines. Yeah, okay.
Right, I got it. So I knew where it was at. And I came here and checked the site out. And I went, hey, this is beautiful, this location to build this thing. And you got an airport right next to it. And I'm a pilot. And I thought, wow, this is great. So we're off and running. We built it. It turned out fantastic. And, man, it's big crowds. And it feels good to be part of it, I'll tell you that.
Very cool.
So with 2 nationwide races coming this year, when are we getting the sprint car one?
I knew that was coming.
A sprint car race?
Yeah.
Well,
come on, Rusty, come on!
Well, we got an asphalt track, you know, and mostly sprint cars run on dirt most of the time. But if you put a sprint car on Iowa Speedway, the damn thing can probably run about 200 mile an hour around there.
Then what's the problem?
Yeah, that's a good point. So, I don't know.
You know how many people you'd get then?
I've never been asked that question. So we got to see. The first race, we got the K&N Series and the Nationwide Series. And then the next race is the Indy Cars.
Yeah.
And then we got the Craftsman, the Camping World Truck Series. And then we got the ASA cars and the Nationwide cars back again, but no sprint cars. Okay, so we'll think about it.
Come on. 200 miles an hour? You kidding me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Iowans like to go fast.
You can leave the studio now, sir.
Beyond just like all the fabulous racing that comes, I know that they've started to add a lot of other things as well. So a lot of family-oriented things, some concerts and things like that. So the Iowa Speedway has really taken off in more ways than just encompassing the huge race lover. It's become a destination.
You have, so I'm glad you said that, because go to iowaspeedway.com and look at our concert lineup, and you got all the information on there about what concerts we got. We got concerts for every single race, and there is a lot of entertainment. I mean, there's a lot of times when races get ready to start, I look in the grandstands, and a quarter of the grandstands is still playing around behind the grandstands, visiting all the stuff we got going on there. I'm like, man, get your butts up in them grandstands. This race getting ready to start. But we got so many cool things going on that they enjoy it. I see people come out there and just look at all the stuff behind the grandstands, all the vendors we got there and all the cool things. They don't even watch a race. They pay to watch a race, but they don't watch a race. And they leave after that.
Rusty Wallace in studio, IowaSpeedway.com. First races of the season, May 21st and 22nd. You got to get out to a nationwide race at the Iowa Speedway. It's quite the thrill. And this is coming from a guy, honestly, I'm not a big NASCAR guy, and I had a hell of a time. And did you fly yourself into Iowa or to Newton for this trip here?
Yeah, I sure did. Flew in yesterday afternoon, left Charlotte, came down here, and
what's Rusty Wallace flying? Like a Lear?
Lear 31.
Nice. Pimp.
it's fast, man. I like speed. That thing we come over from North Carolina yesterday, and I looked down. We're running about 620 mile an hour. We had a good tailwind. I said, "This rocks." We're up there 43,000 foot, just getting it. And I'm like, man, I never get tired of this airplane. It's like a top fuel dragster up in the sky.
Do you crank the Kenny Loggins danger zone when you take off?
Well, when I do that, you know, the FAA gets mad because I'm supposed to be talking to those guys instead of listening to music. You know?
Request flyby?
I've done flybys before.
I bet you have.
I've done a too low one time, and I got nailed for that one. But the FAA had me going, "Hey, yeah, you can't fly below 1,000 foot." You know, I said, because that's illegal. And I said, "Oh man, I wasn't 1,000 foot." And he said, he took a picture of me about 100 foot below one of the radio towers. I said, "You were below 1,000 foot." I got busted. That was early in my career when I started flying. I'll never forget. They took me out of Charlotte and sent me down to Atlanta, Georgia, to scold me. I said, "Man, I was having fun though up there doing them barrel rolls and stuff." But I got about 11,000 hours of flight time now, and I've been flying that Lear for a long time.
Did you do that because one of the controllers was related to Kyle Busch or something?
No, I think they busted me because they just didn't like me. You know, I was winning a lot of races in Georgia, and the guy that nailed me, he was a fan of somebody else, and so he said, "I think I can get this guy in trouble. Let's get him."
When you're in the cockpit, do you have the what's the next system with the helmet in the NASCAR?
Oh, when I'm in there, I got my big Bose noise canceling headsets on.
Okay, but you don't have the you don't have the what's that thing called? They put it in after Dale died.
The Hans device.
The Hans device. You don't have that in the airline cockpit.
Well, let me tell you what. If I need that Hans device in an airplane, I wouldn't be here talking to you. You just don't hit the wall on an airplane. You hit something, you're done.
Rusty, do you fly helicopters at all?
No, I don't. I don't fly them.
Okay.
I love them, man. I love them, and the traffic is so crazy sometimes in some of those big NASCAR Cup races that you want to use them to get in and out. But hey, you know, that just made me think about something. The traffic. I'll never forget. We had our first race at Iowa Speedway. What was it, like 06?
Oh yeah.
Man, it rained that night. It rained. There was mud everywhere, and we got a bad name. They said, "Oh, the traffic at Iowa was terrible." Well, I'm telling you, man. Traffic at Iowa, getting into races is not bad now. It's easy.
No, it got sorted out pretty soon.
It got all sorted out. So people, and we were walking around the station a little while ago, and one guy was saying, "Man, it rained so much, I got stuck in the mud, and I got drunk, and I never forgot to watch a race." And I'm like, because he was out there hung in traffic, but we don't have that problem any longer. The traffic is not a problem at all. Everybody gets in and out quick, so I had to get that out real quick.
Yeah,
let you know that.
We had zero trouble when I went. I think last summer, no, the summer before that. Rusty Wallace, Iowa Speedway, May 21st and 22nd. Go to iowaspeedway.com. Real quick, we were talking about bachelor parties versus bachelorette parties. Which is wilder?
Which is wilder?
Yeah, which would be wilder? Now, you have two sons and a daughter, right?
I do.
And they're about marrying age.
Yeah, they are.
Do you hear any stories from either the sons or the daughter?
You know, I get bits and pieces and a lot of stuff I just don't want to know about. I just don't want to know. Probably all of it I don't want to know about. But I would say a bachelorette party would be wilder.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
You know what?
Yeah.
We're
keeping a tally this morning.
We're just thinking because girls they really can't hold their liquor very well.
A bunch of crazy girls together getting wild. Man, I'll tell you, I'd vote for that and reverse the other dudes.
I'd like to be there. Rusty Wallace will be at the Iowa Speedway. It's a pleasure meeting you in person.
Thanks
and
a lot.
pass on our best to Joyce, who handled a lot of our conversations in the past with you.
Good deal. You guys want to have a great time, man. Come on out there.
We'll get out to the Iowa Speedway. Make sure you go to iowaspeedway.com. The great Rusty Wallace. You deserve applause, sir.
Thank you very much.
It's 8:17. We got Stupid News coming up. Overcast and 30.